helping other people out, because going back to what we're kind of talking about there is everyone is a reflection of ourselves. So the more we help out others is the more we're kind of helping out.
This is Nate House with Craft House Media, and I'm here in Quincy, Illinois at Natural Health. And today I'm here with
Dr. Chip Holschlag.
And I'm Eddie Hochschlag.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I've been a patient here for about the past year, working with your father on nutrition and also on chiropractic. I wanted to come and interview you all because I think that sometimes people don't know the options that are available for them to get well. And so what parts of this are you focusing on now?
I'm focusing more on the chiropractic part. Kind of when people come in for low back pain or neck pain, we kind of teach them a different way of assessing their own health. So we kind of say that the power that made the body heals the body. Instead of kind of relying on outside things, we want to make sure that we're not just treating the neck and back pain, we're actually allowing the body to heal.
And I was kind of working with chiropractors around Northern Illinois. I was a representative for a company called Standard Process.
Okay.
So I was really kind of hands-on working with a lot of these chiropractors, and I was kind of getting some insights on how they were getting really good results. Well, I just call myself an energy coach. So I kind of picked up those things that I was working with that company. And not only just I became an energy coach, I decided to be a Reiki master as well as the nutrition response testing that my dad does in the office.
Don't hit your head on the thing.
What? Are you 6'5"? 6'5".
Yeah.
Let's see how I can get this going. So first I'm just going to bring your arm up. It's just a 90-degree angle, straight up here. I'm just going to test your muscle and see if it's strong or not. So just kind of match my pressure. I'm going to push against you. Sure. Do the same. Okay, good. And then what this next one is you point to your belly button real quick, and then put your hand back down. So this is going to be kind of your ANS, your autonomic nervous system, and see if you can actually take care of it. And so match my pressure again. So you see that you're a little bit locked there. Okay. So you make some pressure. Let's try it one more time. Match my pressure. Okay, good. So and that's kind of thing too, is we're going to make sure that you can actually receive the energy itself. So the thing that we do too is kind of like with the neurology, kind of with the brain, it's called switching, like neurologic switching. So what I'm going to do in this hand is I'm going to kind of have you put your thumb and your pinky together on this hand. Okay, then hold the arm, match my pressure. Good. And then you're going to do the same on this hand, and release this one, and then release that one. So match my pressure. Good. Good. So that is essentially saying is you can put your arm down. It's pretty much saying that you're not switched or anything. Like you're autonomically kind of okay. We could go through it all, but what we do is just we kind of do like a body scan, and that would kind of say like, okay, what organs would be kind of not have the much energy as we need. So we can put like a supplement on the body. So if I have like something like your liver or something that's like weak in the sense of it doesn't have like the amount of energy like that flashlight. The flashlight's a little bit dimmer. Right. This will kind of put a little bit more energy or light to that organ. So if I test your arm, it'll be like, yes, please, like I want that. So I want that flashlight to be being good light.
I see.
So you can do that same exact thing for all the organs in the body. Do you have anything you can add with that?
So a lot of times too is that men definitely, they try to resist because they want to beat us to testing. Right. So it's really all you're doing is you're kind of just locking out this arm.
Okay.
And then you're just matching this pressure. Sure. So that's all I want you to give. Okay. And so what this does is kind of another kind of acupuncture point, but it lets the kind of turn into the body. It's like an on-off switch. So you should be strong here, which you are, and then turn it off. And I can feel that you're holding it strong. It's just you became unlocked. So you're kind of fighting me right now. That's okay, people do that all the time. So go ahead and try this one more time. So I'm gonna have you go ahead and hold and match my pressure. Good. Here. Here. So you can feel that you can feel kind of the unlocked. I don't know if you quite know. I can
definitely
you kind of feel it kind of almost in your shoulder that you have to like hold it a little harder.
Right.
But so that's just kind of the yes, no. So like when we're kind of asking the body what it wants.
Subconsciously.
Yeah. And so when it says no, so we'll put on nutrition that we think the body would want, and if the arm goes unlocked, that means no, it doesn't want that right now.
Okay.
And the weird thing too is that the body, this is a moment in time, just like a snapshot. So sometimes the body doesn't want it now, but maybe in a week it wants it now.
Right.
So it just kind of
Yeah, that kind of goes off kind of the toxins as well. I mean, if you have some kind of toxins in the body, then the body has to deal with that. So like, we have like different barriers, stresses on the body that we need to make sure we get out of the body first. You know, kind of get that sickness or disease out, and then let's start rebuilding the organs. So you'll see we have a lot of products, and even at Standard Process, and that's why Standard Process is so good. It's just food to table, like really, literally food to table.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be the same. Like there's good energies in the body, what that energy needs to get those toxins out, and then to help actually rebuild the organ within itself.
Well, and natural health has very much the perspective of looking at the whole person.
Yeah, so a lot of the testing or the chiropractic is that we're just kind of helping the body heal, but with the nutrition response testing that we do in the office, we're not really wondering about what symptoms you're having, we're wondering about how the body or what the body wants, what the body needs at that time. So when we test, the body kind of shows us, I want this product or I want this, instead of kind of forcing the body to use a product.
I see.
And that's kind of a nice way of kind of going into more kind of like the subconscious mind of things. I mean, we always kind of think the conscious of what we're kind of doing on a daily basis, but the nutrition response testing, it kind of goes more of kind of the subconscious in the sense of kind of testing, you know, what energies in this product or with this food from Standard Process Farm would be really good to help this certain type of organ. So now it's kind of going off of more just energies, not so much the body itself. So now if we kind of dive into more of the subconscious standpoint and in other aspects of what natural health uses, is we kind of go more energy. So now we're going back to like emotions and thoughts and feelings.
Sure.
So you can kind of tie that all together with, you know, let's say if we're kind of muscle testing someone to get, you know, some kind of food for their heart or something. Well, let's kind of take that in another perspective and let's kind of go the opposite and say, you know, do you not love yourself? You know, do you not love others? So that could be something as well that could be affecting an organ that Standard Process could be doing on the conscious standpoint. But consciously, that could be another aspect that could be done.
Wow. So that's really looking at the whole person.
So exactly,
Yeah.
and the person, I was looking up some things before this, like an atom itself is 99.99% of empty space.
Right.
So if we're looking at like chiropractic and so on and so forth, like we're just a little bit of what the actual energy field of what we entirely have. So I think we can only perceive just a little bit of what is actually around us.
With the chiropractic, that's what we usually kind of state the science and the art. Kind of the science being, something's out of place, so pinching the nerve or compressing it in some way, kind of decreasing the nerve flow to that certain area. So, and then the art is just what we do, kind of how to adjust it, kind of the instrument tool or hands-on or anything like that. But then there's also a philosophy aspect too. So the philosophy includes the intelligence of the body. So if you ever thought about how your body just naturally digests your food, you don't have to think about your breathing most of the time. You can consciously think of it, but normally you're just breathing all the time. And just all those different systems are working in perfect awareness and alignment. However, not many people kind of think about that, so they kind of forget that. They kind of forget that the body can actually heal itself. And that something like surgery or medication, it helps to make that problem less, but it's not really healing the body. The body is always doing the healing, whether or not if you cut the skin a little bit and starts bleeding, and you put a patch over it, the patch isn't healing it. The body's always healing everything. So once you kind of educate the patient and they know that they can heal from within, then I think that's the kind of the understanding that a lot of people just don't have that quite yet. So it's kind of more of you gotta just keep giving that understanding to people.
Yeah, and I think kind of a nice way you kind of touched on about it, because I was thinking about it and you said it, but kind of someone that, you know, cuts their hand, it's kind of working out pretty well. If someone cuts their hand, I mean, they're essentially just healing themselves. I mean, you just got to give it a little bit of time. I mean, with the chiropractic profession, they call it this innate intelligence. I mean, this energy, this life force can heal you. All Chip is doing, is that Dr. Chip is doing, is he's he's kind of getting rid of those disturbances in the spine. And then kind of with the Reiki, I mean, in Japanese translation, all it is universal life force. So you can call it universal life force, you can call it innate intelligence, you can call it the subconscious mind. If we all have the same concept that it's just energy, it's all energy, it's just healing itself, then what Reiki is essentially doing is it's just channeling that energy. Like I'm just channeling the energy to the body. And a lot of the patients that I've gotten feedback from, they're like, I feel so much better, what did you do? And I'm like, I didn't do anything. You did it. I mean, I just channeled the energy in. I mean, the body is amazing. You just gotta be aware of it, that it is amazing.
The individual that's receiving that treatment
Right.
is healing themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and you're facilitating that, is what I understood.
Right, absolutely, and that's kind of going with the attunement process with Reiki. I mean, it's just really, I mean, I can be a channel, just kind of, and anybody can do it. I mean, that's just the beauty thing about Reiki. But it's just, we have a lot of the different perspective of how we do it at Natural Health with the coaching, the chiropractic. We got a very good, I guess, overall picture in a sense.
Yeah.
But really, that's just kind of the energy from what I'm feeling, and I don't really feel dried out or anything after it. I don't feel the effects because it's this innate intelligence, it's this subconscious that's actually bringing the energy in. I'm just focusing it on different areas. Mm-hmm.
Here in the heartland,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of new.
It is.
That's kind of new for people to hear, that's kind of new for people to conceptualize.
Mhm.
And so have you run into resistance?
Have I?
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, it's just, it is a hard concept for a lot of people to like pick up, but it's just one of the things that I just picked up working. I mean, like I was just thinking, like just not in Quincy, but like I'm thinking all Northern Illinois. Some of these practices were doing, you know, something like this, but they didn't really put the puzzle piece together, and that's why Chip and I just worked so good together. Is because we would bounce ideas back and forth, like, yeah, but what about the chiropractic? I mean, with the T9, T6, all that, and we're like, but yeah, but what about the root chakra, the solar plexus chakra? We would just bounce ideas back and forth, and that's why I think we kind of stand out. You know, if you can do Reiki itself, but if you don't have a flow of energy going through the body and the alignment's not correct in the spine, then you won't get, I would say, as good a result.
Yeah, we're kind of thinking about the analogy of like a flashlight. And so if the flashlight's not twisted or not right, it's not going to flash any light.
No.
And the energy part is that if the batteries are getting low, the light's not going to be as strong.
Okay.
So if you have them both, you can really see really well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of one thing we're trying to
and you can go off that light, that flashlight, off of these different chakras, and these different chakras can go different emotions.
We're talking about this as though we all know a chakra.
yeah. I
mean,
guess we should break that down.
Yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender was my favorite explanation of chakras.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just briefly tell us what is it that you're talking about?
So
Because
the chakra is essentially just kind of a energy center in the body.
Okay.
And there's kind of 7 main ones that we kind of look at, but what I picked up with a lot of these acupuncture offices as well is they just call them these acupuncture points. And we have, I don't know how many we have, but it's like thousands and tens of thousands of different acupuncture points. Those are kind of like the minor ones. But if you kind of look at the big energy centers, like the acupuncture points, they're just big kind of chakras, you know, big energy centers. So that's a kind of what I'm kind of going at, just kind of big energy centers. And these energy centers are more towards, now we're going back to the thought itself, the emotions and feelings, and not so much like a 9-volt battery or something like that. It's a little bit different, kind of going back to the subconscious world, if you want to look at it.
So I think everyone has had experiences where they had a gut feeling, or they felt in their heart,
Right.
You know, like these metaphors that we've heard, but maybe you've actually felt in different places something in your body, and maybe that's a way of knowing that you have that kind of energy center in you.
And the gut feeling, I mean, the feeling that you're just like, I feel like I need to do something. I mean, that's just like, you're telling, like your subconscious is like saying like, hey, you should probably go do that. You know, you got a good gut feeling.
Sure.
But you can certainly tie like those feelings to emotions also.
Yeah.
And that's like a whole different thing.
Thank you so much for watching our video with Natural Health. I hope you subscribe and you'll stay tuned for more information about health, emotional well-being, and happiness. Have a good night.